Duet this and tell me the craziest thing that your baby daddy has ever told you.
My baby daddy didn't pay child support for 7 years. So when I finally put him on child support, he owed a lot of back pay. Now, come income tax season, he had called me to show off how much money he was getting back on his income tax. And I was in school and working part-time, so I wasn't going to get a lot of money. So I was like, okay, that's great. You're getting so much money. What are you going to buy your daughter some shoes with that? And he said, oh, no, I was just letting you know how much money I'm getting. And I'm like, I don't care. A couple of weeks later, he calls me, tells me I'm going to fall on my ass when he tells me what happened. And he tells me he received a letter from the IRS saying that they're sending me all of the money. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. He comes over to show me the paper because I didn't believe him because he's a pathological liar. Sure enough, I check my account. Yep, I have $4,000 something on there. He asked for that money back.
Duet this.
Don't you just love how men can have their children taken away from them, and then they can also be financially eviscerated at the same time? Okay, gentlemen, I have no problem with child support, if the money went towards the kid. But I would be willing to bet my left arm that that money is not going towards the kid. She's looking at it like a free little paycheck that she gets to get out of the man's pocket. Stuff like this, guys, is truly quite disgusting, right? Because, they'll do it under the guise of, oh yeah, I care about the kid. Meanwhile, you haven't seen your kid in years, right? And she just feels entitled to the money that you earn. But anyway, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be breaking down a couple of TikToks and jumping into a couple of stories. But before we do, guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord, link in the description if you haven't already. And as always, guys, if you would like to support the channel, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description. It's a fantastic way to support, so if you're interested in doing that, the link is somewhere below in the description. But guys, we're just going to jump straight into it, break down this TikTok together, so be sure to leave your comments as we go through and provide your thoughts. But we're just going to jump straight back in to the first TikTok of the day.
This and tell me the craziest thing that your baby daddy has ever told you.
My baby daddy didn't pay child support for 7 years. So when I finally put him on child support, he owed a lot of back pay. Now, come income tax season, he had called me to show off how much money he was getting back on his income tax. And I was in school and working part-time, so I wasn't going to get a lot of money.
In school, working part-time, and I want you guys to... How old do you think this lady is? Okay, so this lady looks, well into the point where, what these girls want to do, guys, is they want to just do the bare minimum that they possibly can. Oh, well, I haven't set up my life or anything, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in as least amount of effort as possible. So I'm going to go to college, get a crappy, useless degree, work a job that I have to, touch barely minimal hours, and see if I can just mooch money off of other people. Guys, I have no problem with paying money to your kids. Absolutely not. Not an issue at all. I think that, you as a father kind of thing, it's very important that you take care of your children, guys. I'm not taking that away at all. But I get the feeling that in a lot of these situations, what these women do is they use payments to be spiteful. Gentlemen, they can take up to all of your crap in a divorce. I hope that's abundantly clear. I mean, we got stories over here. You don't have to look very far to know exactly what happens in divorce courts, okay? And the thing is, they can do it on a whim. Just on a whim. Just because why the hell not? Okay, and again, guys, it's like the kid is the one that misses out because, you would think that this kind of money goes towards the kids. Guys, I would be very skeptical as to where this money is actually going. And not only that, in a lot of these situations, the father gets to see the kids like once a fortnight, so once every 2 weeks on the weekend, and that's it. And he's expected to pay this girl. Make no mistake, when she says it, when she says, oh yeah, I get that money, make no mistake, guys, the money's going towards her. You see?
So I was like, okay, that's great. You're getting so much money. What are you going to buy your daughter some shoes with that? And he said, oh no, I was just letting you know how much money I'm getting. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, she makes it sound... Goodness me, look at this smug face, by the way. Can you guys imagine, right? You work hard for your money. You're at your job busting your behind to get it done. Okay? And then, this face right here feels entitled to your crap. Like, just feels entitled to it. And the thing about him saying that he earned money, he probably didn't say it in like, oh yeah, I earn money, egotistical way. She probably either inquired, she was probably prodding him to ask him about it, or it just came up in casual conversation. But you see, how women want to phrase this kind of stuff is like, oh yeah, well, he kind of pushed it on me. It's all his ego. It's all the man's ego, right? When odds are they were just having a normal conversation, like exchanging kids, or dropping off or picking up kids or something like that. But I mean, man, just look at the smugness, the absolute smugness. She's got your kid or kids, and is happily taking away your money while doing bugger all at a useless college degree. You see?
A couple of weeks later, he calls me, tells me I'm going to fall on my ass when he tells me what happened. And he tells me he received a letter from the IRS saying that they're sending me all of the money. And I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, sending you all of the money. Like, guys, you can call me cynical if you want about these kind of payments, but I have seen it too many times where the kid's not benefiting from the money that's being sent. It's usually the mother who's like using it to do whatever the hell she wants and go out and party. You always notice, gentlemen, the single mothers tend to be the wildest party animals. You ever notice that? It's really strange, right? For these people who say they have the biggest responsibilities and all that, they certainly don't act like it. And I really feel for the guys who have children and stuff like that. And guys, these videos that I make aren't a joke. Like, I don't get it. Like, people seem to not take this stuff very seriously. It's like men are out here literally missing their kid. Like, they can't see their kids. Like, goodness me, stop calling. In a legal sense, guys, they're not allowed to see the kids, their own kids. And you know what? They have to pay out the wazoo for not only child support, but also to supplement the living style of their ex-wives. It's not a joke, man. And this kind of stuff, it bleeds into relationships as well, right? We got all sorts of mischief going on insofar as regular relationships and breakups, which we'll crack into in a moment, guys. But this is some really prevalent and annoying crap in society. And I use the word annoying, and it's a severe understatement, okay? Because a lot of guys are in situations like this, and the thing about it is the government is backing the women. The government is backing this smug person in a situation.
He comes over to show me the paper because I didn't believe him because he's a pathological liar.
Yeah, you see, why is this funny? You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, he's a pathological liar. Where did you get that diagnosis? You can't just you see, girls want to use these terms to just label guys just because they don't like him. Oh yeah, he's a pathological liar. Right? Or he's a psychopath, he's a sociopath. They don't even know what the damn words mean, man. They've got no idea. No diagnosis at all, right? They just... You see, this is the kind of crap I'm talking about when, you might notice, gentlemen, that if you've been in a relationship and you get out of the relationship, what girls will often do is they'll use language like this to undermine your reputation, and you'll find that other people start liking you less. Like, girls will literally turn your kids against you, by the way. I read a comment on one of my videos the other day, gentlemen, and it was about a son who was feeling rather ashamed at the fact that his single mother, turned him against his own father, and he didn't realize until way later on. That's the kind of manipulative crap you're dealing with.
Sure enough, I checked my account. Yep, I have $4,000 something on there. He asked for that money back.
Yeah, and that's somehow funny, right? And again, gentlemen, like, I understand if you're watching this video and you might think to yourself, well, Taylor, she's clearly going to use it on the kids. I'm quite skeptical about that. I really am. Okay, and that's kind of sad to see. For someone who, what these people will do is they'll often use their kids as some sort of shield, as like, oh yeah, well, I'm doing the moral and correct thing. But it's not about the kid at all. They just want the money, really. We're going to jump into today's second TikTok, gentlemen, momentarily.
Like,
beautiful.
Now that women have proven that we can work and be just as successful as men, I think we should go back to where women don't have to work, because I don't want to.
But ladies, this is what you asked for. This is what you asked for. Oh no, I don't want to work. I'm so glad that we got all the women in there, but now I don't want to work. You see, what you'll get, guys, is you'll say these girls who say, well, I want to be able to do this, I want to be able to do that, which, by the way, they have been allowed to do for a very long time now. Like, these girls were going to be complaining in 2021, oh, there are not enough women CEOs. Well, here's an idea. Why don't you start your own corporation? Oh, but that's too much effort. You see, they just want to be given the positions of power, guys. They just want to be given crap. Just kind of skirt through life and be given crap. You see, they'll make these arguments of, well, we want equality and all that kind of crap, and still believe in the wage gap in 2021. The wage gap literally does not exist. I don't know how many times I have to say it, guys, but you would be surprised how many people believe that the wage gap actually exists. Like, girls will use the wage gap as a legitimate argument to say, oh, well, we're being oppressed, when there literally is no damn wage gap. It's ridiculous. But guys, we're going to jump into today's first story here, which is, found out that a 30-year-old male, wife, a 30-year-old female, is in an emotional extramarital affair with her college crush. Should I confront her or let remorse move her away from him? This is absolutely, guys, whenever we look at stories like this, you can't help but notice that they always seem to start off with found out that. You know what I mean? It's always the guys getting blindsided by this kind of crap. Anyway. Thank you for your time. My wife had an emotional crush on a guy in college 18 years ago, but the guy did not accept her proposal at the time. But they have been in contact on and off all these years through social media. There it is again, guys. Just, like I say on this channel a lot, guys, this is just just a gateway for women to keep their options open. You see, you might think that you're in a committed monogamous relationship with the girl, but please believe she's got her exes in her phone or something to that effect. Okay, girls will not will keep their Instagram as a means to meet more guys and stuff like that. Snapchat, Instagram, whatever the hell, probably some dating apps here and there. Anyway, my wife told me everything about him, and up until recently they were just friends. I found out yesterday that they have gotten quite intimate on social media since a year. I saw all her texts, and guy had been regularly asking for her pics in revealing outfits. My wife had sent him some, if not anything more explicit, right? My wife is into spirituality, and the guy has been portraying himself as a spiritual, and that's where I think my wife is emotionally connected to him. All this talk of what girls will try and do, gentlemen, is they'll try and frame men as the people who, we're just these dogs, guys, and, we only like girls for the way they look and all this kind of stuff. And what men fail to realize as well, guys, we're pretty, guys are lied to about this, and they think, oh yeah, it's all about the emotional connection that she has with the guy. She's just looking for that emotional connection. No, she's looking for another kind of connection. You think there's an emotional connection on the one-night stands that girls perfectly well enjoy? Gentlemen, it's not about you see, we kind of overestimate the value of the emotional attachment, right? Have you ever noticed, gentlemen, how women can up and leave relationships at the drop of a damn hat and find another guy within that week? I can't tell you the amount of times, in real life, gentlemen, I have seen girls, and they've been in situationships, because basically what will happen is the guy won't let them get any closer to them in a relationship sense. And then what the girl will do is say, oh, but I really love you, I want to be with you and everything. And she'll say, well, I'm not going to see other guys, which of course she is. And then that situationship will break up, and then the girl will literally be with another guy that exact night. You see what I'm saying? And you might say, well, Taylor, that was just a situationship. But, the girl would be throwing words at him like, oh, I love you, or oh, I'm not seeing any other guys. This stuff is all around you. I swear. You ask a girl about her relationship status, and she's like, oh, well, I was seeing someone. They never secure the relationship, guys. It's all these situationship type deals where the girls are not securing the commitment, and so nobody's treating them like girlfriend material anymore. It's absolutely hilarious, but you know what? It's what they asked for, guys. Anyway, so my wife's into spirituality, huge red flag, by the way, and the guy's been portraying himself as a spiritual individual. At one point in the conversation, she told him, I am in tune with you. We are married mentally. Love you lots. Lately, they have moved to Telegram, which is much secure, so I don't know how far they may have gone. I was seething with rage, but I calmed myself down and approached this rationally. I have 2 kids, and they must not be harmed in any way due to this. Again, a huge concern here is the fact that this guy's kids are going to be taken away from him. You notice how, gentlemen, that I have to voice that concern despite the fact that she's the one technically cheating here? right? I have to look at this sentence here and say, oh well, the kids might not be his anymore after this is over, despite the fact that she's doing the thing that's wrong. Isn't that disgusting? Anyway, I admit that I have been so engrossed in work since I am upskilling myself and transitioning to a better position. Well done, dude. I also have a night shift at work and 2 kids. This led me to sleeping late at night in our other bedroom alone for almost 2 years. She sleeps with the kids early, naturally non-existent fun life. While she has great respect and care for me and is always there when I need her, I believe she drifted away because of perceived lack of emotional support and no fun life. Well, here's the thing, man. You're providing for her. You're providing for your family. You're the one that sounds as though you're putting in the hard work. It's not necessarily her. She sounds like this is a stay-at-home kind of situation. And see, guys get in their head, well, I'm not allowed to demand anything out of the relationship. You are doing a lot of work for your family. This kind of behavior is intolerable. I don't care how much, oh, she's not getting emotional support. She's getting some damn support from you, let me tell you that. Today I tried to get fun with her and asked for it, and she was ready in an instant. We had a good time and she was totally into it. I totally want to save our marriage despite the heartbreak. That's why I haven't confronted her yet. Should I now, or should I reignite the fun life and further the emotional connection and hope remorse removes her away from him? I have to deal with this very pragmatically because both of our families also go along very well. Thank you for reading. Okay, so maybe maybe the kids aren't even his as well. Gentlemen, I don't know why. Well, we do know why. Men get this idea in their head, guys, that we're not entitled to anything in a relationship. The amount of crap that the average man will put up with is absolutely ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. Like, the average guy has been trained to put up with so much terrible behavior, and we're supposed to just, like, there are so many situations where the girl will be flat out disrespecting the guy in the relationship by talking to another guy, a male friend or an ex in the past and stuff like that. And we as men, what we're told, if we have a problem with that, what we're told is, oh, you're just insecure. Oh, you've got a small, you know what? Or oh, if you cared about the relationship, you wouldn't be so. You're just jealous. You see what I'm saying? And we're supposed to put up with that. You see, men are shamed for all that kind of thing. And I don't know, man, like, as a guy, I think one of the most important things you can have in a relationship of any kind, whether that be family, friend, or otherwise, is just self-respect, guys. Like, you're going to put up with a far less crap if you just have self-respect. None of this trying to fix people or fix situations, or it makes me want to pull my hair out, man, when I hear guys, just because I over on Patreon, guys, I have a feature there where people can ask me questions, okay? And a lot of guys ask me questions about the relationships that they're in or the situations that they're in, and it makes me want to pull my hair out a lot of the time. And I don't say that to be rude to the guys at all. I'm saying that because a lot of the problems could be avoided if there was more self-respect. A lot of the problems that men are going through right now is because the self-respect has literally been beaten out of them since they were little kids. Well, let's jump into this story here, guys, as the second article, and then we'll kind of wrap up the video. Just found out my girlfriend, again, guys, just found out, right? My girlfriend, 20-year-old female, who recently became semi-long distance, has cheated on me with a good friend of mine, who is a 22-year-old male. Again, something to take away from the ages, guys. Notice how she monkey branches to the older gentleman. I can't even describe how betrayed, how angry, and how alone I feel. As a cliche saying, I'll just start from the beginning. 2 years ago, I met the girl of my dreams. Red flag. She's amazing in the best possible ways, and to say I was in love would be an understatement of the year. We keep hanging on and off for days on end, even making her friends and other boys who are into her very jealous. After 5 months of talking and hanging out together and a whole night of playing Truth or Dare, we admitted we had feelings for each other over call. I was ecstatic to say the least. This was the first person I ever dated, and I haven't experienced anything as amazing feeling as that night. From there on, it was amazing. We talked for days on end, calling each other as soon as we got home, and even joined calls together and turning on our cameras together to make her more comfortable due to her having severe anxiety, which made it to where she got so worried she wouldn't be able to sleep. We kept going on like that for around 6 months, always doing something new, playing a new game that came out, and making new friends. This is where my new friend comes into the picture. We played a couple of games that day and found him in one of them. We both enjoyed hanging out with him and decided to invite him to a call over Discord. We all talked, laughed, and we continued on as our friend group slowly grew from 5 to 15 over the next year or so. My girlfriend and I started planning on moving in together around this time and started talking about how amazing this is and planning on taking this to the next level. We started sharing everything, including passwords, to each other's Discords. By this point, our new friend was by far one of our best friends of all time, and we even talked about having him visit us since he only lived 2 states over, which would be no problem for him. We continued to hang out with our friends, telling them about our plans for the future we wanted to share together, and overall everything seemed to be the same. This is when it all went downhill. About a month ago, my family decided to spring a vacation down to a luxury hotel by the sea. I obviously asked whether my girlfriend was allowed to come, which was denied due to my family being worried about the virus. Begrudgingly, I had to accept since they weren't going to allow me to stay at home for 2 weeks all by myself at 20 years old. What? What? That makes no sense. I told the news to my girlfriend and she was surprisingly excited at the idea, which was uncharacteristic of her due to her severe anxiety. I obviously asked if she was right and if she was feeling okay. She said she was completely fine and that I had apparently helped her through her anxiety over the years, something I extremely regret eating up and believing and telling her how happy I am that her anxiety is starting to go away. How long does this go for? Goodness, okay, we're almost at the end. Off I went to the trip with my family to the hotel. I even feel sick looking at this place after all that's happened. I called my girlfriend the second I arrived at the hotel room, checking up on her and asking how she's doing without me, to which she responds along the lines of, "I'm doing great, I miss you so much already, and I can't wait to have you back here." Another lie that I regret believing and completely hate myself for being so stupid. I started to enjoy my stay here, going shopping with my younger brother and sister and paying for food and clothes for them. I continued to go about my life just like this before I decided to call my girlfriend 2 days later to check up on her again, only sent a text to her the night before asking. She continued saying, "I'm doing great. Why are you calling so often?" which finally started raising red flags on my end, but I ultimately dropped it and decided not to call her for another 3 days as my family and I continued to enjoy our stay at the hotel. And here's the inevitable terrible part, gentlemen. This is the moment where I feel beyond stupid, betrayed, angry, and alone. I called her on Saturday night after I told my family I wanted to relax and call her to hang out, opting to play on the laptop my mum had brought along. After a few minutes of ringing to no reply, the other end finally picks up to none other than my friend asking, "Who's this?" I recognized his voice immediately and asked what he was doing over at my girlfriend's house. He rapidly started spouting about how we talked about having him visit and how he took up the first opportunity he could to drive down to my girlfriend's house without saying a single word to me or my girlfriend. This raised every red flag possible. At this point, I wasn't just smelling something fishy. I was smelling the whole ocean. I quickly logged on and checked messages between my girlfriend and my friend, only to discover that for 2 months they had been having fun time, and she had told him about him going away, how badly he wanted her, pictures and more, and things I can't even stomach to read it again, let alone type. I don't know what to do. I feel betrayed, alone, and angry. Gentlemen, we're going to wrap up today's video with there. That was a bit of a long read. Feel free to leave your comment on this, but what a lot of guys don't get, unfortunately, until it's too late, is that people will lie to your face, and it is much better to trust actions over words, guys. I personally don't care what people say anymore. Like I do, but if it's something serious, guys, it is way better to look at people's actions rather than listening to what they say. Okay, because you will get girls. Let me put it to you this way. For example, if you're a guy that earns money, you will be someone that will be lied to by women, right? Because they'll tell you what they need to tell you in order to get into your life. You see that? And they'll lie to you. They'll smile at you. They'll say that they love you for as long as necessary. And girls will play this kind of long game. Okay? People in general, gentlemen, will lie to your face for long periods of time. You know, if the takeaway here, gentlemen, is that naivety is not something you can really stick with, okay? A lot of guys are trained into naivety. I had a few gentlemen comment the other day about, I don't really know if naivety is the problem. But it certainly is a huge component of it. right? Because at the moment, guys are just trained to not even look out for this at all. And then they get completely blindsided when it happens, okay? We have to understand, gentlemen, that women are hypergamous, okay? And they are going to try and exercise their options where possible. Gentlemen, we're going to leave today's video here. As always, if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe on your way out. Come and join the Discord link in the description if you haven't already. And as always, guys, if you would like to support the channel, the link to the Patreon is somewhere below the video. So if you're interested in becoming a supporter, that's a fantastic way to do it. But guys, this video has already run over time. We're going to leave it there. As always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.